I love that. And really quick before I go, Mr. De Niro, the first time we
I'm sorry,
see,
Jake, but
oh,
we don't have time
It's
for another
okay.
question.
It's okay. It's okay.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Mr. De Niro, great to see you again, sir. Mr. Levinson, it is an honor to meet you. Thank you both for taking the time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. De Niro, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, you've played so many incredible real-life gangsters throughout your career, not just Frank and Vito. I know you worked a lot with Lefty Rosenthal on Casino. Did he ever talk about Frank Costello? Did they ever run into each other with their Vegas dealings, or was Frank gone by the time Lefty was kind of rising in power?
I don't know how much Costello had to do with Lefty's world. He and I would meet in L.A. and I'd go with him to where he had his shirts made and this, and we talk and we go over the script, and then the time came when I was wanting him to come to Las Vegas to be on the set with me, but he was in the black book, and there was no way they were going to let him in. So that was why he couldn't come anymore. I'd call him from time to time or ask him something if I needed him.
That's wild. Mr. Levinson, you've obviously directed, I think, some of the greatest two-man teams in movie history, whether it's Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man, or Mr. De Niro and Dustin Hoffman in Wag the Dog. And obviously, Frank and Vito, they're also a great on-screen pairing, but obviously here played by the same guy. So what is the difference between directing a pair of characters played by two actors versus a pair of characters played by one actor?
Well, in the end of the day, you want it to feel like they're two actors. To be honest with you, because Bob's got to play two characters, and you have to think of them as two characters, and not blur those lines. And we spent time going over the dialogue of those scenes, well in advance of shooting it, so we can get as much specificity as possible for one and the other, because their rhythms are different. One talks much faster than the other. One is more aggressive than the other. One is more deliberate than the other. And so those are the things and the challenges for Bob, that in digesting that, so that we end up with two different characters. We would shoot one day, and then we would shoot the other side the next day. But that balance, you want to hold that together, because we are talking about two very different people, and then that's the challenge for Bob, to not only do that, but to keep the spontaneity of it alive, so that you feel like there are two people up on the screen.
I love that. And really quick before I go, Mr. De Niro, the first time we
I'm
see...
sorry, Jake, but we don't have time
It's
for another
okay.
question.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, thank you. Mr. De Niro, the first time that we see Frank and Vito sitting across from each other, it's at a diner, which of course, since it's the 30th anniversary of Heat, I'd love to sort of compare the two scenes. What was the difference between, because you always hear acting is reacting. What is the difference between when you had no one to react with in that diner scene in this film versus having Mr. Pacino to react with in Heat 30 years ago?
That's why I got this other actor who was playing one of the other mob guys.
Right.
And I don't know if I read with him, but I talked enough with him or whatever. And he was enthused enough to really get it and want to do it. And it helped me immensely. He learned both parts, and I could play off him. If I didn't have that, it would not, you can't, I mean, you could do it, but it's not the same.
It's unbelievable. It was unbelievable to see. Gentlemen, this is truly an honor. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for the extra question. And seriously, thank you guys. I know you have a busy day, so seriously, this is a real honor.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.